Charlie almost believed it. Something smashed against the wall outside Charlie's bedroom as she pulled on her socks. The smack was followed by the distinctive sound of shattering glass and then an angry growl. Charlie sighed as she pulled her red hair up into a sloppy ponytail. Hopping over her abandoned lacrosse stick and backpack, she hurried out into the hall. Her brother Gideon stood outside, hands balled into fists, glaring at her other brother, Mateo. A picture frame, glass broken, lay against the wall, answering the unspoken question of what had made the sound. Charlie glanced at the nail where it had been hung on the opposite wall. "What now?" she asked, signing to Maddie, who was deaf, as she spoke. Gideon did the same as he responded. "He needs to watch where he's going," he said angrily, his gestures erratic with emotion. "You need to watch where you're standing," Maddie signed back dismissively. Maddie had light brown skin and brown eyes with big full eyelashes. His mom had been from Brazil originally, but she died when he was really young, years before he got turned into a werewolf and came to live with the Greers. He was almost a whole year younger than Charlie, but he was already half an inch taller, with long, gangly limbs and tightly curled brown-black hair that added a couple of extra inches. That meant he towered over Gideon, who was 8 years old and short for his age. "How does that make any sense?" Gideon snapped, his sharp, angry signs matching his tone. Gideon was round-faced, with straight, silky black hair and warm brown skin. Unlike Maddie and Opal, he wasn't technically an orphan, since he didn't really have parents. Just a bunch of DNA from lots of people that had been combined to make a baby with special powers. Right now, those powers were making the air around him waver like a heat mirage. Charlie stepped up quickly. "If you two get in a fight and make Mom and Dad miss their flight," she started warningly, fixing Maddie with a look. They sprang apart guiltily. "I didn't do anything," Gideon muttered, pushing his glasses up and looking sullen. "Not my fault I can't see him when he's so short," Mateo signed grumblingly. But Charlie put up a hand. "You know how stressed Mom and Dad have been. This vacation has already been canceled 3 times because of us." "Because of Maddie," Gideon muttered. "Because of us," Charlie repeated. "We have to convince them that we are totally on top of things and nothing will go wrong if they leave us alone. Or they will cancel at the last second again and they will keep on getting more and more stressed until they pop like stressed-out balloons. Which means that we need to keep it together for another..." She checked her watch. 12 minutes. Can you do that? For Mom and Dad?" They glared at each other. Maddie's eyes flickered a brief, faint amber. Finally, he signed a quick fine at her and turned on his heel, stomping down the stairs. Gideon gave Charlie a plaintive look. "I didn't do anything," he said again. She sighed and put a hand on his shoulder, giving it a squeeze. "You know how Maddie gets this close to a full moon. Just hang in there." He made a little noise of understanding. At that moment, her mother's voice called from downstairs. "Charlie, could you come here a minute?" "I'll take care of the glass," Gideon said. "You're sure?" Charlie asked. "It's my fault it broke anyway. I lost control," he said, head hanging. "I'm the one who was supposed to make sure those were secured better," Charlie pointed out, guilt twisting in her gut. Everything had to be earthquake-proof with a telekinetic 8-year-old in the house. She'd meant to get around to securing the pictures. She had. But there was always so much to do. Charlie wasn't sure if Mateo was actually grumpy because of the full moon or because of preteen hormones. He sure had seemed grumpy most of the time lately, and when losing his temper meant shape-shifting into a 4-legged menace to society, moodiness was a serious issue. Of course, they had to keep the furniture nailed down in case Gideon got upset. And when Opal had nightmares, she almost burned the house down. So maybe Charlie shouldn't complain about Maddie too much. Even if he always seemed to destroy her shoes when he went on a chewing spree. Which was why Charlie puppy-proofed and earthquake-proofed and fire-proofed the house and checked the fire extinguishers every week.